Welcome everyone to the Women Are Worthy Network. Y'all, okay, let me tone it down because y'all know how excited I get when I'm doing this, okay? Well, I have been going through a lot of turmoil, as everyone nowadays, because of COVID, because of I'm getting phone calls. Someone has died. Someone's in the hospital. Someone's committed suicide. And it's just been really messing up my mental. I'm going to be out perfectly honest with you guys. I'm seeking therapy because look, I need it. Just like when you drive every 3,000, and if in Europe it's 6,000 miles, you got to check the oil. So guess what? My oil needs to be checked. Occasionally I got to check the engine. So right now, my engine needs to be checked. So I decided to reach out and I found this wonderful human being, this beautiful spirit that talks about, his company is called, he's the founder of Spread Love Movement. So I've been doing my research and I'm like, Spread Love Movement, what in the world is that? His name is Mr. Jason Court. And I'm like, okay, I'm loving the name. I'm loving what he's all about. And in his, I'm wearing a shirt that says love. I don't know if y'all can see it, but my shirt says love. So, I'm all about positivity, but it's just so much coming at me right now, so much. So without further ado, the Women Are Worthy Network is proud. We're honored. We're so happy to have Mr. Justin Court. He is the founder of Spread Love Movement. Okay, Spread Love Movement. This man is phenomenal. Hello, Mr. Justin. How you doing?
Hi, Jacqueline. You're really, really sweet. I'm so grateful to be here and have this conversation with you. We chatted, not too long ago, just for about 10 minutes. And at the end, at the end of the conversation, I felt so amazing, just feeling your energy and feeling your love and kindness. So just couldn't be happier to be here. So thank you.
Well, thank you for, gracing us with your appearance because you could be so many places. And for those of you tapping in, make sure you support the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you want to join our tribe, you must subscribe. So come on over and take some notes because Justin is going to be dropping some jewels, y'all. He's going to be dropping some gems. So without further ado, I need to know, who is Justin Court?
Who am I? So, when I ask people this question, just in life, like, who are they? I'm always eager to hear their response because so many times in life, we respond with, hey, my job title, where I live and all those things. And that's okay. It's all love. Mm-hmm. It's very common. But when people ask me the question, Justin, I am a soul. I am derivative of love. I am a husband to the most beautiful woman inside and out. She is incredible. And I am a person who pushes out love as often as I can. Yeah, of course, days are hard for me as well. I am a person who practices gratitude every single day, and that has transformed my life drastically. And I really am at my core, like all of us, we are love. And I'm somebody who is just doing my best to push out that message and to help reconnect people with their truth, which is love.
Why did you first of all, how did you come up with the name? How did you get the name?
So originally the name was Spread It. So like love, kindness, all these things, let's spread it. And the name Spread It worked for a little while. And then I was doing research one day and I looked up and Spread Love Movement was available. It just kind of hit me out of nowhere. I'm like, this is a movement. This is a mission. We are doing something here. And I Googled Spread Love Movement, wasn't taken. And I was really excited. So as soon as that day came and I realized it was available, I switched everything over to Spread Love Movement. I got that LLC'd because really it's all of us. It's all of us coming together. It's not just love. It is people, all of us, our beauty coming together literally as a movement, because I feel like that's what it takes in order to spread this love. It takes all of us, and it's an action in my mind, right? So that's why I thought movement fit really, really well with it, because it's an action of us being kind to ourselves, being kind to one another, and spreading love. And spreading love has so many meanings to me. Spreading love could be simple as holding the door for somebody, literally like the tiniest thing. Spreading love could be you text messaging somebody and saying that you miss them or that you love them. And that's where it is. It's action. It's doing things in terms of spreading love. And that's how the movement was born.
What I love about, because it resonates with me, because at one point I was like getting to be self-destructive, meaning disliking people, particularly women, because I got caught up in sex trafficking, and I could not stand my the perpetrators. It was like a hate thing, and I was hating women. And then I realized, yes, I was excelling in the corporate world, but I wasn't excelling on the inside, because you had that hate. So I was blocking a lot of blessings.
Yeah.
So when I decided to wake up or start fixing myself and get help to do this, things just felt better. My shoulders, the weight of the world was off my shoulders. Then I started accepting love from people who just, because I
Mm.
have the personality that people can love. I know this. I'm charismatic. I know this, but I wasn't loving them back. I was being a jerk off towards them, right? So then I realized, Jackie, you can't continue this way. This happened to you. It happened for you, not to you. Because if that, you went through a horrific thing, but look where you are now. So no, I just love the world. I love people. I'm not stupid. If someone is um, not reciprocating, and it's okay if you don't reciprocate, I'm going to still love you, but you don't have to be in my space. You know what I'm saying? I can love you from a distance.
Absolutely. And really, so much love for you to turn it around and say this happened for me, not happened to me. Because I'm sorry that that happened to you, and I can't even begin to understand. So that gives me inspiration. Literally, the fact that you are now looking at that as something that had happened for you, and I think it's your story. I think is really important for people to understand this part of it. You said for a while you hated women,
Mhm.
right? Based on what had happened to you in the past, based on your experiences. So you may have been really rude or not nice to a woman, and she might have been like, Jackie's awful, I hate her, all these negative things towards you. And I'm not saying to condone someone's actions when they're not the
Mhm.
kindest to you, but let's get curious about their pain. Let's try to understand where they're coming from, because in order for someone to ever act hateful towards somebody or negative or angry towards that person, that right there is showing all of us that that person has something that they're suffering, that's something that is painful within them. And I just think it to change the conversation, instead of saying F this person, they're terrible. If you have the strength and energy in that moment, and sometimes we don't, and like you said, sometimes we need to just move away. But if you are able to be the light in that moment, reach out to that person, give them love, give them kindness, dig a little bit deeper to try to understand what they're going through and what had happened to them. Because again, they're only acting in that way because they're in pain in the past. So honestly, that's such a powerful story. And the fact that you realize that this wasn't working for you, because when we hate others, who holds that hate? We do. That person may feel it in like flickers here and there when we yell at them or when we're near them, but we're the one living with that hate, and it affects us. It brings down our vibration, and it makes our life very difficult, and it makes it hard to find joy and happiness. And I'm so glad that you were able to release that and then to start loving so that you could then receive love, and it changed your entire world.
Well, because I realized now what I would do is, like, if they would approach me, I would want to talk to them. I would block it out. I wouldn't curse or whatever. I'm just, no, you have a vagina. I don't want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my mind was processing, because of what happened to me, what had happened. But then
Right.
I realized, Jackie, you can't be that way. You're still alive. So many people that you knew that were in the circumstances, you were homeless, you were, part of that, the human trafficking. You realize you got out of it. You saw people die. You saw that. You saw the violence. You survived. You survived for a reason. So what you need to do is flip it. When you meet someone and they're nasty or whatever, try to give them, be patient.
Mm.
Give them, what's the word I'm looking for? Give them, be patient. offer whatever it is you can, because you have to break, I'm telling you, you have to break that. Sometimes it takes, you have to rip off the Band-Aid, then you have to go through, get to the white meat to dig out what's going on, take the poison out, clean it out, and then fix it. So I realized that happened to me. And because of that, Justin, what I decided to do in my space and women who are around me, every day I wake up, I give a woman a compliment, whether she's on Zoom. And what I decided to do, not just give women, because let's face it, y'all don't send me this email, but I'm going to tell y'all this. We're so fixated on women now, we forget about our men. So when you see a guy, give him a compliment. Like, wow, your shoe, whatever it is, because we're giving women compliments as well. So whether it's your shoes, your hair, your clothes, your suit, I stay on suits. With guys, I stay in the safe zone, suit. So that's a nice suit. You're wearing it well, that kind of thing, or your haircut. So I think I choose to, with my gratitude, to give compliments. And I tell my friends this. When we go to restaurants and you have a wait staff, what I do is when the wait staff, after she's, given me my food, and I'll tell her this is exactly what I'll say. What I say to her, you need to get your manager over here right now. This is exactly how I say it. Justin, they're pissing in their pants, okay? That's the New York coming out here. They're peeing in their pants. And they're like, what did I do? I said, get your manager over here right now. And I don't have a smirk on my face. And they're like, oh my God, oh my God. So the manager comes over and I said, you know what? Sadie has been phenomenal to me. Lisa, Marie, whomever, phenomenal service. Whatever you're doing, you need to give them a raise because they're doing a great job. So when the manager goes over to them, they're like almost in tears. And the manager is telling them, and you can see like they're looking at me. It's great that we can give tips, ladies and gentlemen. And we're so quick to complain, but we're not as quick to compliment. So that's what I try to do. So listen, when I tell you, Justin, that I've been stalking you, your pages and things that you're doing. And I've been implementing some things in my life because I want to be a better Jackie today than I was yesterday.
Yes. Wow. That was so good. And when you give those compliments out, how good does that feel for you too?
That's my love language. Yeah. I like giving presents and giving. Oh my God, I can't explain. It's like you gave me $1 million check. Well, almost gave me $1 million check. But it's just seeing the smile, just seeing like, wow, thank you. And you don't know them. You know, I just love it.
Right. And like, of course, like you mentioned before, like, right, we're giving them tips and things like that, but they're getting tips from everybody. They're not getting compliments and love from everybody. We literally went to a restaurant Saturday night. It was me, my brother, my wife, a friend. And as soon as the girl came over, she had like just a really cool hairstyle. And right away, my brother's like, I love your hairstyle. I love your haircut. And she was really just like, in that moment, just moved. And she's like, I've been having a really hard day. Like that really helped a lot. And then as we were leaving, I made sure I caught her. And she was really great. And I was like, you were awesome. We literally all loved you. Thank you so much. And she was like, those things touch us on such a deeper level. They lift our spirits. They lift our vibration. That one little thing that you've done so many times can turn a not so great day or maybe a terrible week into a much, much better one.
And
right?
That's what I try to. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You go.
And that's what I not try because I hate that word. That's what I am doing. Yes. I want to change things because I found out I'm an empath and now a golden child. I am focused when I feel the energy because I have been in restaurants where the waitress literally is in tears after giving her a compliment because they've had a bad day. Yeah. And I'm pleading with you out there who's watching, whenever you get service, please, it's great you can give the wait staff, but when you have the balls to ask the manager to come over, because they're hearing it in the script, but when you get the manager to come over and then they have to acknowledge, I take the extra time too, Justin, when I'm doing something on the phone and someone says, hey, can you please complete a survey? Years ago, I'm like, I'm not completing that. It's so important now to complete those surveys.
Right, because that it just makes somebody happy. And like, it is just such an amazing feeling when we can bring any sort of joy or happiness to another person. Because to me, it's like really the best thing ever because that person feels amazing. And what we're giving, we're immediately receiving it back. And then we also feel amazing. So I love those examples that you do that all the time. I love that you compliment people, and let this hopefully just everyone listening right now, let this be just like your moment that you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to start doing this more. I'm going to start either complimenting people more, just being kinder to people more, because again, one of the most incredible parts about that is that you feel that yourself. And it's a win-win for everybody. And seriously, on some days when I'm not feeling great, I will be kind to somebody or compliment somebody because I
Yes,
need it.
yes,
Right.
yes. That's why I do this. And and I'll say this too because it's my show, so I can say it. I've I met this gentleman, and I'm in Georgia. I met this gentleman. He had to have been in his 80s. And he was ornery and cranky. And from what people told me, he was racist, right? So he also grew roses, and he would sell the roses because he needed something to do. But I was told he would not sell it to Black people. So I said, okay, I'm remembering I'm human. I'm a human being first, right? I know you see the color, but I'm a human being first. So I went over, and he said some not so nice things to me when I walked over to him. He didn't use the N word, but he said some not so nice things. And I said, okay, Jackie, we need to have a conversation with this guy because I'm not trying to change his mind, but I want him to see that we're human beings. We're spiritual beings. We're human beings. Okay, me being me, because I don't take no for an answer. Okay, no, it's not in my vocabulary. If you tell me no, I'm going to learn the language that you're speaking to turn that into a yes. Okay, I am tenacious. Okay, I'm a pit bull. So, but after 3 hours later, I'm sitting on his front lawn. I mean, his front porch. We're on the rocking chair. He gave me roses, 2 dozen roses. Didn't charge me for it. Instead of me keeping the roses, I gave it to the office where I used to work in this area because he used to be on Cherokee Street. Anyway, and I would give it to women. I gave it to women, and I told them where I got the roses from. They did not believe me. And I'm like, go. So we developed this little friendship, he and I. If I'm driving down his road, I'll stop by. I don't toot the horn because he's an older guy. I would stop, say, how you doing? And I know okay, I don't want to assume this, but from his language, I knew he was okay with the lynchings and all that kind of stuff, right? But just getting him, just talking to him, and then he found out I was Jamaican and Cuban, and family came to this country. And so, whatever his mind was thinking about lazy or whatever the case may be, I flipped it. He always told me, you have such a pretty smile. And I would say, I just love the way you wear those overalls. And I said, am I your grandpa? Am I your granddaughter? He's like, wait a minute now. So we would joke about that. And so I turned that situation around where everyone said he was mean and they couldn't understand why he would sit on the porch, allow me to sit on his porch. And we would just have conversations about him growing up, how things were, sharecroppers, and just a whole bunch of things, owning sharecroppers. It was just a great conversation, and me telling him what I feel about slavery and things like that.
First off, amazing for you to know that's who he was and to push past that, to put yourself out there, to create, because that takes courage to reach out to somebody like that, to try to create just some sort of a relationship when you have an understanding of who they are. So that's incredible in itself that you were able to do that. And that is such a great example too, that so I guess let me ask you too, how do you think you broke through? Was it with your smile? Was it with your kindness? Like, how did you even break that barrier initially with him?
My personality, because I was talking about the roses, and I said, wait a minute, the roses are how much? You got to be crazy. And then he laughed like, who has the balls to tell me my roses are crazy when they're beautiful and big and blooming? So I kind of broke it with comedy, with laughter, because between love and laughter and music, doesn't matter what language you speak, we all share that bond. So that's how I did it, and I did it. And to be honest, we have so much hate as it is. And I'm telling you, I know for a fact, Justin, me being on the streets, I know that has made me switch my mindset and made me realize just have a now. Don't get me wrong. I was nervous, but they say never let them see you sweat. I didn't know if this man was going to curse me out or say the N word and whatever, and that's my trigger right there. So I've never been called that, but I said, okay, it may happen. So I left the room that it may happen, but Jackie, things are great when things are comfortable. It's better when it's uncomfortable. That's where you have to work, where it's uncomfortable.
And how powerful in that moment you chose love instead of fear, right? There was fear. Is he going to curse me out? Is he going to call me a crazy word? But you chose love. You chose to approach him, come towards him with laughter and humor. And look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I love too about you in that moment, you didn't let him define who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You chose those things. You chose love and kindness in those moments. You didn't say, well, I know who he is. I know he's going to act towards me. Let me go over there and curse him out. Let me go and be rude or nasty to him. Because if you had, not that he won, but he has control over you in that moment because he changed who you are. Mm-hmm. But you didn't allow that to happen.
I want to tell you about what your company, how wonderful it is, because again, I'm walking into this. Love has opened up so much for me, right? Where I don't fear anything anymore. Because what's the worst thing you could tell me? First of all, if you don't want to be my friend, if you don't like me, that's your loss, not mine. Because I want to be my best friend. So it's not me, it's you. So it's just, and I want you guys to please support and follow anything that Justin is doing. Because when I tell you his movement is phenomenal, it is phenomenal. If we did this, if one person would do this and spread it in their village and so on, we wouldn't have the hate we have. We wouldn't have homelessness. There were so many things that would be knocked out if we just spread love. So Justin, I want to give you your roses while you're here, that you are freaking phenomenal. And I want you, my brother, to keep fighting the fight, keep doing what you got, because we're at war right now. Let's keep it real. We're at war. So, and I want to thank your wife, Mrs. Court, for allowing you to continue doing something that you love by spreading love, by spreading the movement, because we are taking time. Like right now should be your family time. I am taking away time from your wife, and I want to publicly tell her thank you.
Oh my gosh. You are the best. She she gets it. Because of her is what brought all this love out of me. Like it was in there somewhere, but I kind of forgot about it until I met her, and she couldn't be more supportive. She couldn't be more just behind and about this movement because she realizes how important it is. Like you said, there's so much hate in the world, and there are conversations like this. And people like us getting this out there that can create that shift and that change, because it can't ever just be me or you or both of us at all. It's everybody, right? So it is so important, I think, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I feel and see every single day what love has done for me in my life, and that's all I'm trying to do. Not trying to do, that is all that I'm doing, is sharing that with other people and getting it out there, because and it may not work for them like it's worked for me, but something that's brought me this much joy and peace and happiness, all I want to do is share that with other people in hopes that it could potentially bring that sort of joy and happiness and peace within them as well. Because when you center your life around love, literally every single day, like I had my car parked in our parking lot. Some guy hit my car. He didn't leave a note or anything like that. Luckily, somebody else saw him and they told our office. We found out today, the cops came, they brought him outside. And honestly, I have nothing but love for that guy. Because if I sat there and hated him for what he did, who feels that hate? Me, that pain. It's me. It's not him who feels that. And I don't want to live a life filled with hate and pain, right? And just because I was kind and loving towards him, did I get walked all over? No. We figured it out. We got his insurance information. Everything will be rectified. Everything went brilliantly, but I was able to come from it from a place of love. And this has taken years and years to get to this place. And am I always here? No, I'm human. There's moments where I may get like frustrated or angry at somebody, but in those moments too, luckily I'm so grateful and blessed through meditation and different things. I'll have the awareness. I'm feeling this negative way and I choose differently. It would have been easy to be really mad at this guy and talk crap about him, right? That's easy to do that. That's why love and kindness, those things take strength. They're more difficult to take a step back and be like, I feel love for this person, even though they may have wronged me in a moment, than to sit there and be like, I hate this person. That's easy. It's so easy to do that. And in those moments when you can come from things from a place of love, instead of anger, instead of pain, suffering, hate, all of those negative, low vibrational emotions, when you can be in a place of love, your entire life will change. And I am so grateful that I have much more moments of that than the other. Because again, I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I get negative in moments. Of course I do. Of course. But it's fun for me, honestly, in those moments when I do get negative, to be like, okay, let me pull myself out of here. Let me turn this into something positive. And like when you can do that, the feeling you get is incredible. Because I look at myself from 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, and I was not this person. And I think about how I would have handled it back then, and it's just darkness, and being here now, there's just so much more light, and life is so much happier now, coming so much more often from a place of love.
And what people need to understand, when you're doing, however you're living your life, someone is watching. We're not just talking about God, the higher power, someone is watching. And I'll share an example because I choose to only do positive things on my show. What I mean by that is you could have gone through hell, but how did you get here and back? We're all in the same book, just different chapters. You may be in chapter 23 and I'm in chapter 15. I don't want to jump through to your chapter because I need to know each page and chapter. I'm learning something so I can get into chapter 23. That's how I look at this. So I'm minding my own business. And when I tell you I was exhausted because I fell into this, right? I didn't know what to do. I just fell into it. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I left a corporate job. This is what I'm doing. So I'm working and I'm chugging away and I'm doing what I need to do. I get a phone call. I get a phone call. I get a phone call from a follower on Facebook. This woman is phenomenal. And she says, you seem exhausted. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, you seem exhausted. What I want to do is I have a cabin in the mountains and I have a condo in Atlanta. I want you to go away for a couple of days and just chill. No husband, no anything. So I'm like, okay, how much? Like, let me know. And nothing. I'm like, what? And when I said that, I wanted to slap myself. How dare I not think? Because first of all, I do believe when people give you things and you refuse it, you're blocking their blessings.
Yes.
When someone wants to give you something, stop saying, no, I don't take it. Look, give me, I'm going to take it. Because you're blocking their blessings and I'm also blocking my blessings. So to give is to receive. So I'm telling you, I'm a little smart, Justin. I'm a little smart.
You're brilliant. I love you.
So what I did was, so she's telling me, she's like, no, hubby, just you. And I'm like, oh, no, hubby. Ooh. But how do I break this to him that, bro, I'm leaving and see ya. So what happened was, she says, this is where, and the people are going to meet you. And I says, well, I need to tip the people. She's like, no, don't tip them. Don't do anything. I got all of this. So when I get there, they know who I am, concierge. I felt like a celebrity, and I'm already being told, like, if I see celebrities in the elevator, that would be the only way I'd get kicked out. Don't ask for autographs, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, what's she talking about? I'm a celebrity. What is she talking about? So I get in the elevator. So I go in. The condo was mind-blowing. Okay? Mind-blowing. So when I said I rested, I had a great time. I had the whole place to myself. This is where she resides when she's not in the mountain, right? And I'm like, you don't even know me. And you're letting me come in your house, your personal space.
Hmm.
And I'm like, it was just so beautiful, so loving, so giving, so thankful. I went on the balcony and I'm like, yes, big baller, shot caller. So I'm
Uh,
like, because I don't know if I would ever have in my mindset just having people just come in my house, but she taught me something. She
yes.
had that feeling, that connection that I wasn't going to do anything, crazy or whatever. When her housekeeper came, her housekeeper's like, she didn't have much to do. But it was just so wonderful, just sleeping and relaxing in a space. And then when I was leaving my house, my husband had given me money. I lost the money. He gave me cash. He's like, I want you to just go enjoy yourself. He didn't smile when he said it, reluctantly giving me the money. So I get in the car and I'm like, I can't find the money. I can't find the money. What's going on? What's going on? And something said, calm down. Money is energy. Calm down. Use whatever you have. Justin, when I got back home, unpacking, there was the money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just wanted to share that with you, the viewers and yourself.
That's amazing. You released, right? You weren't freaking out, wanting that money, projecting to God, the universe. I don't have this. I'm lacking. You released it. You let it go, and it came to you.
Abundance.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Look, I'm
And
in the whole law of attraction. I'm into all boo,
yeah.
whatever you in, I'm in that too now. But I'm learning from you.
And what's really cool too, Jackie, is you brought that experience to you because of who you are and
Mhm.
the good you're putting out in the world and the positivity and how you're helping people. You gave that. That's why you received it back. That's why you were able to receive that, which is just like anyone listening, anything in the world that you want right now, go give it first. If you
Yes.
want more money, give that
Yes.
waitress a 40% tip. If
Mhm.
you want love in your life, go give love. And I promise you it will come back. If it doesn't come back in the time frame that you think it is supposed to come back, still release that and know that it's going to come to you. Because if it doesn't come back in the time frame you think it's going to, because you set that time frame, no one else did, just you, and it doesn't come back to you when you think it's supposed to, and you say, this is stupid, this doesn't work, I'm never going to get it, well, then there it goes, and it'll never come back to you again. But that's one of the keys that I've realized is give it first, and then be open. Yes, and that's a huge one too. Be open to receiving, because Jackie, you gave all that love and that
Yeah.
positivity, but if you weren't open to receive that from her, then you couldn't receive it. You wouldn't be able to. And you mentioned this before too, which I think is so important, is yes, receive, right? Allow things to come to us, because it's us who block those off. And I get it. A lot of times we're like, no, like you don't need to do this for me. Like I'm good. Like within us, it comes from a good place. It does. It's not like we're being mean or nasty towards that person. We're just like, no, it's okay. You're incredible, but you don't need to, put yourself out or do that for me. And you're right, Jackie, by saying no, you are stealing that joy from that person, because in that person giving you that gift, it feels incredible for them. So why take that away from them because your ego is telling you, no, 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 don't take this from that person. Be open, be able to receive, and literally the world, the universe, everything, there's abundance all around us.
And that's what the issue that I had, my ego. And I had to relinquish the ego, remove myself from ego, but because ego can kill you, ego can destroy. Because I believe, envy and jealousy is a murdering spirit. So what I believe now is, and I've been, like I said, I've been doing some real good work on myself. I have a great therapist and who's talking to me about binaural beats and all these positive things, law of attraction, Esther and Abraham Hicks and all those people. So what I'm learning, and again, let me say this: if you want to join the tribe, you must subscribe. And please, we're going to talk about Justin's handle, and everything. But this is what I want to say to everyone: I'm talking about this not to brag, but to show you how great the universe is. I had a Unity in the Community event. I didn't think anything was going to happen, right? But I said, Jackie, it's going to happen. Where I needed sponsors. It was because the place was very expensive. So I'm picking up the phone, calling, and God told me, don't call people that you know, call people you don't know. And I'm like, dude, you crazy. What you mean don't call people? When you do stuff, you start with friends and family. He said, no. I'm picking up the phone, Googling, and I'm like, okay, car dealerships. calling, and I'm like, so one night I was in this office, and I wanted to cry. And he said, "You're not going to cry. You're going to be dialing for dollars." The next day, I released it because I felt it. I felt it. And I'm like, oh, this is not going to be successful. I booked the place. They told me when they wanted the deposit. I reached out to so many people. So I'm going to have a whole bunch of people. And I said, no, you're not going to allow this to happen to me. You're setting me up for success. I promised you. The next day, I kept calling. I got a law firm. I got a gym. I got a funeral home. And it went on and on and on. So I said, okay, Jackie, this is part of the nonprofit. What you're going to do now is you're going to invite these cluster of people who some of these people society overlooks. So I met this group of people culturally, and I said, I want you to come to my event. And I said, okay, I need to put money into my company, pay myself as well, and put money into my company so we can continue doing these things. The spirit told me, no, what you're going to do is you're going to donate to this group of people. So I already had money set aside to donate to some people. This group was so shocked. And when they asked me to come to their church. It's a huge Filipino group. And I did that because I didn't know a lot of Filipinos, and I wanted to know your culture. So what better thing is, if you're starting your church or whatever, why not donate? The money that I'm not losing money, I'm gaining family. So that's what I'm saying. The universe, God blessed me. I blessed them, and they needed that money for whatever. They told me later on. I then went to their service. They're not my family. I mean, they'll call me like, we're cooking this, we're cooking that. And I'm like, yes.
And it's like, look what can happen when you have that abundant mindset. Instead, and I felt like this so many times, where you may get that money or that may come to you, and you squeeze it almost like to death because you're like, I can't let this go. I need this. It's like, take a breath, release that. Yes. Understanding that you are love and abundance. That is who we all are at our deepest core, from our soul. We are love and abundance. So like you did, like when you can release that and say like, how can I help others? What else can I do here? And look what you gain from that. Again, look what you gain from that as well. A new family, people who really, really did need that money. And again, like, you weren't losing anything. You didn't lose anything, like you mentioned, and look what was gained from that.
A relationship. Because I'm always looking to build relationships, because what I've done is, my family's so toxic. Yes, I said y'all are toxic. So what I've done was, I decided to remove myself from that. Excuse me, no, my relatives, that's my DNA, are toxic. So I choose to create my own family. So that's what I've done. So the ones who are relatives who I want in my space, I brought them over. But I've met so many people through the show where when we're done doing the show, we connect and we become family after the show. So I look at this as another way of meeting people, gaining relationships, whatever it may be. I'm all about collaborations, not competition, because if I can help you, you're making so many people happy that they may I may meet up with them and they just may smile. They won't curse me out. So that's how I look at things. I do look at things as transactional. I sure do, because love is transaction. And, we need to look at it like, it doesn't just have to be money, so that's how I'm just trying to live a simple life, my brother.
I love that. And there's enough to go around for everybody. We've been told forever there's not enough. Lack is what we've always been told. We live in an abundant universe. There is more than enough for everybody. And something else too amazing, Jackie, and this is what I've realized too, everyone listening, go seek out people who will bring you joy, people who are more aligned with who you are. Once you work on yourself, myself included, once I just, as I continue to work on myself more and more, this conversation was brought to me because of who I am on the inside. Same goes for everybody else. Work on yourself. Be the best version of you that you can be. You can absolutely achieve it without a doubt. It's up to you to know that though. Right? Like, everyone has to know that in themselves. And once you have, that's why self-love is so important. One of the reasons why it's so important to have love for yourself, be kind to yourself, work on yourself. And as you do that, more people who align with you will be attracted to you. It's just how everything works. And also seek those people out as well, right? If your vibe, I have friends who, I love these guys. Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Jackie, because of all the beautiful work you're doing, you are attracting these people to you, right? You're seeking them, they're coming to you. And anyone listening, if you feel like your tribe around you is not ideally who you want to be, you feel like they're not bringing out the best version of yourself, do what makes sense to you. I'm not saying cut these people off forever. You have to, it's a balance. You have to see what is right for you. If it makes sense to move away from these people a little bit to protect your own energy, that's okay. You can shift from them and not hate them or wish ill will or anything negative towards them. But we have to look out for ourselves, because, and I know this gets a lot of like, that sounds selfish. You have to look out for yourself. When we do what is best for us, when we take care of ourselves, practice self-love, that is the best thing that we can do. Because when we are at our highest vibration, feeling our best and being love, that is the best thing that we can all do for this planet.
Let me tell you why I'm getting emotional right now. And I can't get some tissues. Because I'm seeing so many suicides, so many people being murdered, but the suicides really have striking me, because it's self-love. It's not knowing that you have people out there that care for you. And the one that's really striking me the most right now, we have the little babies who are committing suicide because they're being bullied. And we're talking about kids from 10 years old and under. Then you have that 30-year-old lady in New York who jumped out of the hotel. I think it was 60 floors. She's an attorney. She was Miss USA and committed suicide a couple of days ago. And it breaks my heart that she didn't feel loved, or because as a person who had thoughts of suicide, you have all these friends, but you still can feel alone. And it was something that I had to go through and work on with my therapist. You feel alone, and sometimes the pain is so deep. Because when I hear people say, "Oh, you're crazy. Why would you commit suicide?" or "Why did they commit suicide? They're weak." Suicide is not, some people thinking or do it, it's not weak. It's when you feel, oh, I'm really revealing so much tonight. You feel so much pain and you don't feel anything can get, you feel like the only thing you can do. Now, mind you, I have a husband, a loving husband, but it was just something, not him. It was something within me. That's why it's important to tap into people that you think are strong and just checking in on them, doing that mental check. But to see that this woman had so much, we think so much ahead of her. We don't know what emotional turmoil or pain she was going through, or she felt she couldn't talk to someone to say, "Hey, my vibration is really low. I'm seeing gloom and doom. Can you help me?" I know I have people I can reach out to, and I have things that I can listen to help me. But I just wanted to say that it breaks my heart that there's so many people out there that are contemplating suicide, have attempted suicide, and did commit suicide. And someone who felt that they couldn't, because when you kill someone, you don't love yourself. And y'all, I'm not talking about self-defense. I'm just talking about straight up being a murderer. You don't have enough, because if you love yourself, you're not going to do that to other people. So I just wanted to share that, because when you said that, I was really choked up, because watching, you don't watch the news, but it pops up on your phone or on social media. And that broke my heart, that this woman, I thought or think, had so much to live for, but I don't know what she was going through.
Exactly. I was literally talking to my wife in the car last night. We were coming back from the grocery store, and it's the idea that when we see somebody who we deem has everything, like, what is even everything, right? You were Miss America. You had, and not even her particularly, but when we see all these things on the outside world, that doesn't matter. We think because somebody's famous or this or that, they have it all. They have everything figured out. It's always what is happening on the inside. And that's another reason why it is so important for us to take care of ourselves, Again, practice self-love so that we can feel as good as we can on the inside, because the material, that's why you see famous people, you see really rich people hurting themselves or committing suicide or things like that. You see really poor people doing the same thing as well. But when you see someone of that status kill themselves, unfortunately, it's just, we need to, obviously as a tragedy, and feel for them, feel for her family, and all understand that the outside of what we have and what it looks like, it's all about what's happening to us on the inside.
Exactly.
It's everything.
And that's why it's so important that we create our village of people that we support, that who supports us, because you and I'm always giving my energy, that I would get worn out because I didn't know how to create those boundaries. And because I go from, my energy goes from 0 to 100, and I'm working on how to next step, instead of going 0 to 100, 0 to 10, 0 to 20, 0, 10 to 30, 40, 50, because I just get so, my energy, I'm just, and I don't want to burst, because again, it's energy and I don't want to burn out. So what I've learned to do, if I don't want to do something, it's no. I have no problem saying no. I'm no, if it's not feeding me financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and on and on and on, I'm not doing it. And not everything is financially, because you look, Steve Jobs, unfortunately, had, how he died, and he was a billionaire. So I want to create positive energies, positive life source, light source with people, and then we can shine our light brighter. I want, when my light is dim, there's someone that can put the battery in me, and we shine together. We're dim until we get brighter, 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 brighter. That's what I'm looking to do. I don't think I'm seeking too much, because at the end of the day, money is energy. That's what people need to understand. It's energy, and stop operating in a thing of, and my husband's starting to see that. He's like, wow, how did this happen? How do we get this in the mail? I said, because it's me, bro. It's because of me. Now, if you do what I do, we could triple that, bro. So he's starting to see that this is not mumbo jumbo, the law of attraction, and he's starting to see this. And again, for those Christians out there, I want you to understand, this is not anything against God, because if you read the Bible, abundance, speaking positive, that's all in the Bible. So I am just, when I say you have written, my energy right now is here, but you have actually, I think we actually did Operation. That's what you did, like the board game, and you took out the pieces and you put more pieces in me. And that's how I feel, because right now, Justin, you are spiritually feeding this sister right here. Okay. You feeding me.
And honestly, you right back at me too. I feel incredible, super high vibrational. That's why I love these conversations so much, because I think they're really important. They're very needed for this sort of consciousness to be expanded and for more people to be aware of it. And it just feels amazing. It feels so good to talk about these things and have these sorts of conversations. And it's these things like this that make me feel literally on top of the world. And I don't want to say better than I have ever felt, but like, these are some of the things that I literally in life cherish. These conversations I literally cherish because of how incredible they make me feel. And what are we doing? We're talking about love. We're talking about kindness. We're talking about how we can create more of that in this world, and how we can just have good energy and put that out. That's all that we're talking about when you really break things down. And that's why, again, it's so important to surround yourself with those types of people, for you to work on yourself so that your energy is as high as it can be as often as possible, because those are the things that create our lives filled with happiness, right? Don't we all just want to be happy? Don't we all just want to feel good?
Arnell, thank you, Miss Williams, for tuning in. Julie, thank you for tuning in. For everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is all about love. This is all about peace, finding joy, because happiness, I think, is a journey, and joy is a destination. And when bro, you are in the, wait a minute, my phone's ringing. Hold on. Okay, I'll tell him. That was the judge. She just said that your adoption has been approved. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Like literally, that's why it makes me so happy. Like bringing conversations like this into my reality. I'm just couldn't be. You're amazing. Your energy is phenomenal. You've helped me during this conversation, during the other time that we spoke, because of just the energy that you give off and the positivity. It changes my day. It changes our lives. Like these are the things that really, really matter, that I want for our own well-being to focus more on, so that we can all just be happier and just live good lives, because obviously there's going to be down in our lives, of course. But when we look back on the course of your life, me personally, I want so many more of the ups, the good feelings than the low. And that's how we all feel. We all want that. And it takes work. But, and I say work in like quotes, because it's fun. It's not really work. It's just a really good time. It's fun. It really is.
What is your social media pages and platforms for people who want to subscribe, follow? Because y'all got to follow him, okay? Follow him.
And I hope for the people listening to that you follow for your own benefit. Like I'm so blessed. We have hundreds of thousands of followers, and I cannot believe it's gotten to this place. And even if you don't follow, it's not about the followers. It's about you feeling good. The videos that we post, the things that I talk about, they're all there to show you the kindness that's in the world, to show you the love that is all around you. It is everywhere. There are good people everywhere.
Yes.
And we highlight that as much as possible. So I just hope for your own benefit, you will check out the page, check out the videos, the content that we're posting, so that you can feel amazing. Instagram, we are at Spread Love Movement _ Spread Love Movement without the underscore was unfortunately taken, but such is life. It's okay. And then on TikTok, Spread Love Movement, Facebook, Spread Love Movement. We also have a podcast, the Spread Love Movement podcast. It is on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well, having some really deep, vulnerable conversations with some incredible people who are putting, like Jackie, who are just putting so much good, positive, beautiful energy out into the world.
And let's see, whenever you can, if we can do something on your show as well.
Yes.
If we can do that. But, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. This has just been amazing for me. I'm going to have my sleep tonight is going to be wonderful. So I need to tell my husband to put some plugs in his ears, because I think this is going to be snoring tonight. This is going to be buzzsaw, because I'm so relaxed. And we want people to see that, if you're going through something, you're going through it for a reason, and you're going to be better on the other side. You cannot see it. You may be going through the tunnel, and the tunnel is dim and dark, but trust and believe that light is coming. The light is coming. Just keep on keeping on. That's all Justin and I can tell you. Just keep on keeping on. Don't hang around negative Nellies. Hang around positive Pollies or positive Peters. Get the negative out of the way, because this world is filled with darkness. But baby, when I tell you we got light in this world, we have light in this world. So be the light. Once you're the light will come your way. You are what you attract. If you haven't, you dating guys and they're no good, there's something going on with you. If you're dating, you know what I'm saying? So we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to, just like when you drive your car, you want to make sure everything's okay with your car. When you leave your house, you lock the door. Make sure that matches up. You're eating right. You're eating, because you eat junk food. That's a whole nother show. That's tomorrow. That's the tomorrow. But again, I love everyone. That's all I want to give. Revenge is no longer part of my vocabulary. I let the universe handles that, because I'm a child of God. I'm a child of the universe. You can't touch me. And if you try, you're going to be screwed. Okay? Because I'm all about giving love. Justin, I love you.
I love you.
Are just...
Can I do something you just touched on, and I'll say it really, really quickly. Anyone who's in a dark place or not feeling good right now, we have so much love for you. Know that first. There's so much love out in the world for you. And what Jackie just touched on too, in so many conversations I've had on the podcast, it has blown my mind. Every single person who's told me this story when they're at their darkest, at their absolute lowest, that was literally the catalyst that got them to where they are
Yes.
today.
Yes.
And they wouldn't have gotten there without that. And every single one of them is grateful for that experience because they wouldn't be who they are today without it. I'm not diminishing how you're feeling right now. I'm not saying get over it, it's easy. Not that at all. I'm saying be in this. Know that you are loved. Know that you are insanely powerful. Know that you are a master creator, that everything around you right now, you have brought to you. I know that can be hard to hear sometimes. It was hard for me to hear that, but everything in your reality, you have created and has been brought to you. Do not let that bring you down. Allow that to empower you. Feel the power in that. Understand it's up to you. It's not outside of yourself. You don't have to rely on anybody else to get there. It is all you. You're beautiful. And at your deepest core, who you truly are is love. Own that, know that, and run with that.
You're still here for a reason. Didn't I tell y'all he was going to be dropping some jewels? Did I not tell you he was going to drop some jewels? You know what? He didn't drop the jewels. He dropped the damn mic. Okay. He done dropped the mic. Okay. He dropped the mic. So, Justin, I want to thank you for supporting us, for being part of the show. We want to thank everyone for tuning into the Women Are Worthy Network. Make sure you like and subscribe to the page, the Women Are Worthy Network. And on Facebook, we're the Women Are Worthy Network. On Instagram, we're the Women Are Worthy Network. The Women Are Worthy Network. Continue subscribing and supporting our channel because we have awesome guests like Justin, who's a badass. So tune in, and we want to thank everyone for, supporting the channel, and bye for now.
Love you all. Bye. Jackie, love you. You're awesome.